tender.
Very nice tender. Beautiful tender, it says.
Very tender.
We've been very tender. Tender too.
So, my name is Bobby's. It sounds like Barbie. Bobby. Yeah, Bobby's. But I have... The real name is Haralabus. Haralabus' nickname is Bobby's. But I think it's really difficult for some people, especially when they call me Barbie. It's not very nice. But I have much better surname. My surname is Zacharis, and it means sugar. So you can call me Sugar Bobby. Not Sugar Daddy, man. I'm a good boy. I have 3 kids, 2 daughters, 1 son. When I'm talking about wives, I talk from experience. Happy wife, always. So we have a very experienced driver, a very good friend, many years with Viking corroborating Angelos, Angel. The only thing that he's not an angel, he's a devil, but his name is Angel. We are in Nafplion now, the first capital city of Greece. 200 years ago that we revolt. We have the famous national Greek revolution against the Ottoman Turks. And by the way, it's your fault, you know that. The most of you are from the United States, isn't it? All of you. Yeah. Not all of you? Where are you from? Oh, do we have above... I can see you from the camera, so you can say hello. Do we have English people on the camera? No, only 2. Only 2. That's good. The limit of English people in the group are 4. You know why? More than 4, you can conquer everything. So, actually, to be honest, first, it was the English fault with Cromwell and Parliament. 100 years later, the Americans revolt, the farmers from the United States, sorry about that, they revolt against the British Empire, and then the Frenchies follow. And from the French is the Greeks' influence from the Enlightenment, of the democracies and all this philosophy that influenced Europe, that not all, but most of it derived from the ancient Greece, Socrates, Plato, etc. We revolt. And we brought, not from the very beginning, democracy in this country. That was very important for the Greeks. And liberalism, the system, of the 19th century, against the old regime, that it was everything under the Pope and the Patriarch, the Greek, the Orthodox. So democracies came, republics we call them today, but okay. And Nafplion was the first capital city for 6 months, very beautiful castle on the top, organized from the Venetians, when the Venetians had the outposts, islands and bases in the previous Byzantine Empire, later Empire here and there. The Venetians control some spots to keep the trade from the East Mediterranean, especially from Syria and the Silk and Syro-Palestine, this area, the silk trade from China and etc. The last strongholds of Venetians in the Aegean Sea and in the mainland, it was until 1717. The 7 islands, the famous Ithaca, the island of Odysseus and Corfu, it was under the Venetian almost a few years before the Greek Revolution, only 30 years the Turks controlled the islands. Then Napoleon took it, that the British in the war with Wellington and all that, keep it, and then they give it back to the Greeks as a present in the middle of 19th century. Thank you about that, the English people. You can see the olive trees on snowy. In February is the coldest month in Greece, because the sea around the Aegean Sea Mediterranean is very cold. The hottest month of Greece and of the Mediterranean is November, because of the oceans, they absorb very slowly the energy of the sun. So October and November is the hottest, especially October. is the hottest days. And slowly they're losing the energy. So in 3 months later, in February, the sea around is very cold, so the snow comes from the north. know why we are, especially the two English, why we are at the distance of one stadium, 195 meters. It was the third Olympic Games in 1904, 1896 Athens, 1900 Paris, 1904 London. To honor Queen Victoria, they ran the distance of one stage. So marathon is 42 kilometers and one stage in distance to honor Queen Victoria. How romantic. The winners in Greece, they took an olive tree branch, a wreath. In Olympia, Laura, Daphne, tree of Apollo. In Corinthos, pine tree, wreath, because the sap of the pine tree, it was a very good conservative for the wines, the famous Greek Retsina. It's been actually sap wine. And the fifth, it was here in Nemea. Celery. Wild celery. Yes. You need to boil them with a lot of beans and carrots, and you have the famous Greek food fasolava soup. Celery. Yes, celery. Also, you can sit down if you want, you have to stay.
Yes. Are these outdoors? Yes, it's very well.
Oh, it's an apron. Sit. So, hello again. Hello. The first day of snow here in EMEA. And the first day of winter, basically, because 2 days ago we were still in our t-shirts. Whites. In 1992, 1993, they decided to have a bigger production, replace the old machinery with more modern ones. And then in 1995, they had their first white. We have 98 acres of winery-owned vineyards. We only use our grapes to make our wines. And our production is about 250 to 270,000 bottles per year. More than 50% of that is sent towards the United States, the Canada, several European countries, and Australia. Varieties. We have the Greek varieties for white wine called Rhoditis, Moschofilero, Malagousia, and the international varieties Chardonnay, Viognier. And for red wines, we have Cabernet Sauvignon, Syrah, Merlot, and of course, the local one, Agioritiko. Do you know this variety? No? No. Today, it's the day you will like new information about this variety, and you will taste 4 wines of this variety. Different wines. And Agioritiko, also called like St. George's grape, owes its name to Nemea. Nemea, before the 1800s, was called Agiorgis, St. George. So Agioritiko is the Greek from St. George. Another interesting information is that they have found amphoras, big clay pots, in the archaeological site of ancient Nemea that you visited, with grape seeds inside, dating back then, 3,000 years ago.